Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel and welcome to what will hopefully be a very cozy fall afternoon and evening. I've spent the first part of the day just doing some errands, some cleaning, laundry. I recorded a video for another channel, but now it is almost 3 o'clock and I am tired. So I am going to make myself a little coffee and then I figured we can chat some more. So I got this last week actually. This is the Market District or Giant Eagle pumpkin spice flavored cold brew. And when I first tried it, I wasn't that impressed. I think my palate wasn't like accustomed to the pumpkin spice yet, but now I actually really like it. And one of the errands this morning was going to Trader Joe's, and I've heard everybody talking about this non-dairy oat creamer brown sugar version, and they just make it sound so good. So I'm super excited to try it. I know this is compared to the one Starbucks drink, like the brown sugar espresso, but I really never go to Starbucks, so I've never tried that before, so I can't really compare. Normally I would put some almond milk in here too, but unfortunately I'm out. We also went to Costco this morning, and that's normally where I get it, and totally forgot. You can't leave Costco without forgetting something. Usually the thing that you actually care about the most. Okay, this mixture is pretty good. I would be curious what the oat milk brown sugar creamer would taste like with just normal coffee, so I'll have to try that tomorrow. But it is a pretty good mix with that pumpkin spice cold brew. And not me trying to be an influencer by any means, but I do really love these glasses. I feel like they just make your coffee drink look so much better, a little bit more exciting. And I also like to put my greens in here, but that gets a chug for sure. But pro tip, if you like anthropology style, which is what I would say this is, kind of like mature bohemian, if you just go on Amazon and type in like anthropology or anthropology inspired, there's a lot of really cute like candles and dishes and things like that that pop up that are not anthropology. They just kind of have that same vibe. But while we're here, I figured I would just go ahead and do a little bit of a Trader Joe's haul. Not too much, but this was the first time that I've been to Trader Joe's in quite a few months. I do live in Columbus, Ohio, and we have 2 Trader Joe's in the area. One is much closer than the other, but we have literally millions of people that live in Columbus. It's kind of absurd there are so many people here. So I don't really go to Trader Joe's very often because they're still small, even though we're in a big area. And so they're just always so crowded. Like you literally have to go at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. But I am a huge fan of their products, and I have recently gone gluten-free because I found out I'm either severely allergic or I have celiacs. I didn't do the additional test to figure that out, but I know I can't have gluten anymore, which kind of sucks in a lot of ways. As I was looking at packages of certain things that you would maybe assume are gluten-free, you know, they have traces of wheat. So there is a lot that I can't have, but thankfully there is a lot that I can as well. And Trader Joe's does carry a decent amount, I would say, of gluten-free products. But first up, 2 of the things that I'm actually the most excited about, they are some soups. And oh my gosh, as I'm looking at this, I didn't look at this one closely. My husband will have to eat this because it does contain wheat, just so you know if you're also gluten-free. But this is their New England clam chowder, rich creamy chowder made with hand-shucked Atlantic surf clams, tender potatoes, and sauteed onions. So that one is not gonna be for me, and I'm gonna be so sad if I can't have this one either. No, this one's good. So this is their tomato feta soup, and it looks so delicious. It is slow simmered tomatoes finished with light cream and feta cheese. And then I also got this autumnal harvest creamy pasta sauce made with pumpkin and butternut squash. This looks delicious. I don't have pasta too much. I didn't have it before I went gluten-free, and now I have it even less now that I am. But my favorite alternative is the bonza pasta that's made with chickpeas. And I don't even like chickpeas, but if you are gluten-free, I think that is personally the best alternative that I've found. I also got this gluten-free cornbread mix. We're gonna do chili. We do chili a lot. My husband really, he's the cook in the family. He'll do a big pot on like a Sunday, and then we just like eat it for lunch throughout the week or whatever. We really never do bread with it, but I think this will be nice. My in-laws are also coming in this weekend, so we might end up having it with them too, and then it will be nice to have that side. Also, because my family is coming in, we have this gluten-free chocolate chip brownie mix, and my mother-in-law is gluten-free too, so this kind of works out. And then finally, for the gluten-free boxed products, I got this gluten-free pumpkin pancake mix. Not to be confused with the autumnal pasta sauce, although maybe it does taste the same. I did also get the autumnal harvest soup. It's a creamy tomato, so you can definitely tell that I love tomato soup. A creamy tomato-based soup with pumpkin and butternut squash. I did pick up a box of their Harvest Blend herbal tea. I just love this one, and I like that it's caffeine-free because a lot of times I want to drink my tea at night, but then I go to my little tea shelf and I realize that most of it has caffeine and then it doesn't end up getting drunk. So I really do like this blend a lot. And then this was definitely an impulse buy, but I've seen a lot of people drinking matcha lately in vlogs that I watch. So I just kind of want to try it. I've literally never tried it before. I know a lot of people try it and then they don't like it, and then other people say like you really have to get used to it and then you end up loving it. So I figured I would just pick up this matcha green tea latte mix and see how I like it. The one girl I watched said that she was a huge matcha hater, but then she kind of on a whim tried Emma Chamberlain's matcha mix and she loves that. So that's something I'll kind of keep in mind too, but Emma Chamberlain's a little bit expensive, so I figured I would try it like this first. I also got this huge bag of gluten-free rolled oats, trying to have more fiber in my diet, and I also want to, probably in this vlog, I want to make some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. But all right, now that we have our coffee, you can see better in this light. I think this cup really is so cute. I figured we could just have a little chat, a little catch-up chat. I haven't made a vlog in a while. I am going to be making a lot more this season especially. I think fall it's just the perfect time for cozy vloggy content. This vlog is just gonna be a chill one at home, but I do wanna do like full fall days in my life, going out and doing a lot of fall activities. So let me know down below if you have any suggestions for that. I do have a pretty solid fall bucket list, which I shared in one of my last videos where I talked about fall inspiration. But so far this season, I haven't been up to too much. October is going to be super busy. If you did watch that fall inspo video, you know my husband Ryan and we are doing a little fall road trip. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be literally one of my favorite trips of all time. We're going to be driving up through New York from here in the Columbus, Ohio area, and we're going to be staying like on the outskirts of Boston. We're not actually going into Boston at all during this trip. We're going to be doing a day in Concord, which is where the Little Women house is, and it's just an adorable little town. We're also going to do a day in Salem because of course you literally have to, and we're going to be doing a ghost tour and everything is going to be so fun. And then we're also going to be doing a day in Gloucester, I think is how you say it. It's an adorable little town by the water, and my cousin's mom is actually from the Boston area, and my cousin said you have to go to this town. So we're gonna do a day there that'll be a little bit more of a chill one, but I will be vlogging that whole time, so I'm so excited to share that with you guys. And then also at the end of October, we're going to be doing just a little like 2-day, 48-hour trip to Chicago, and Chicago is only about 5.5 hours from us. And pretty much everybody I know in this area has been to Chicago. A lot of people from my high school moved there. It's kind of like New York light, I feel like, for the people of the Midwest. But I've never been, and really the only reason we're going is because we have tickets to see Queen, and that is the closest place they'll be, or at least that's like how the dates lined up for us. But it's one of our absolute favorite bands. The guys are getting old, so we just kind of had to jump on the opportunity. It'll be the most expensive concert I've ever been to, but it's like that whole girl math thing. We got the tickets a long time ago, and actually we bought the tickets with credit from selling other tickets. So it really feels like it's free, but we're going to be staying in a really cool hotel. We're going to go to the Starbucks Roastery, the Chicago Public Library, and we're also going to be right by Millennium Park. So that's just going to be a really lovely 2 days, which again, I'll be vlogging. So it's been a chill fall so far, but October is going to be a really fun one. And then I'm thinking November will be a lot more slower content, just like really soaking up the dark academia vibes. But definitely let me know, what are your plans for this season? What have you been up to? As I said, do you have any ideas for me? Because I love this season. I do very much love a Midwest fall, and it seems like we're gonna have a good one. Sometimes it's like summer is really late. A lot more times winter seems to come really early, but I do think that this year should be a good one. Reading wise, I haven't gotten through all of the books that I wanted to this September. I didn't give myself like a totally excessive amount of books, but I did read a few that were quite long. I read the second Court of Thorns and Roses, and that one took me, I would say, 5 or 6 days alone to get through, and then after that I kind of like fell into a little bit of a rut just because it was so good. I really did enjoy that one a lot. Didn't read for a few days, and now that it's the end of the month, I have really been reading quite a lot. Just this morning, I started The Stranger Upstairs, which was not originally on my list to read for the month, but I didn't really give myself any thrillers, and after I finished the last one, I just like really felt like reading a thriller. So this is actually the September book of the month, and I really can't speak to how good it is yet because I'm literally on page 20, but I'm pretty sure this is this author's debut, and I am pretty impressed with the writing so far. It is a very troubled therapist, which is not my favorite. That is my degree personally. So it can be very easy for me to nitpick how therapists are written, but it is a very common theme in a lot of thrillers. I think that if you have a main character who's a therapist, of course she's going to be super messed up herself. So that is how we find the main character. And her husband also seems to have some dark secrets, and they do not have the perfect relationship that at least the wife wants everyone to think. But they just bought a house where people were murdered. A husband supposedly murdered his whole family and then killed himself. So I do love that the majority of this book is taking place in a spooky house that they're renovating. And late last night, I did finish this book, Fable. This is the first one in a duology by Adrienne Young. I know there is another book that's set in the same universe, and then a prequel to this duology just came out this fall, I think. And the prequel follows this main character whose name is Fable. It follows Fable's dad, Saint. And I like this one. I said in my Goodreads review that it is a good option if you're like in the mood for fantasy, especially like pirate ship kind of fantasy, but you don't really want to like dive into a 500+ page book or like the super complicated universe. This one is, I think, about 350 pages, but there's not a lot of words on each page. The chapters are pretty short, so I was able to get through this pretty quickly. This one I did ultimately give 4 stars, enjoyed it, but didn't love it. I'll read the second one, but I'm not like dying to. But it is about 3:20 now. I'm actually pretty tired. I feel like when I film a couple videos in a day, it just kind of wears me out. You know, I did some cleaning, did some shopping. So I think I'm just gonna take about 30 to 40 minutes. Maybe I'll just read until 4 o'clock, and then we'll make some cookies. So I just made the batter and it has to chill for 30 minutes. So I just went ahead and put it in the fridge. But don't you hate when that happens, when you're just like going through the recipe, doing everything, and then it's like chill for 30 minutes or an hour, or sometimes it's overnight, put it in the freezer, whatever. But it is nearing 5 o'clock now, actually. It's 4:45 and I am quite hungry. So the batter is going to end up chilling for longer than half an hour because I'm just going to go ahead and make dinner. And by make dinner, I am just going to put these pre-made Costco stuffed peppers in the oven. They are genuinely so good. They're like your grandma made them for you. So 6 stuffed peppers, it was only $16.17. And we haven't got this too many times before, mostly just because we forget about it. But this is actually a great option, I think, if you're having friends over for dinner or something. We did do that one time in the past and it ended up being a big hit. But yeah, super easy. All you have to do is cover this with aluminum foil and put it in the oven for an hour. So that's why I just wanted to go ahead and start making the stuffed peppers now, and then I will bake the cookies after dinner. Unfortunately though, I can't actually have those cookies, but I'll give them to my mom and hopefully my husband Ryan will like them. They called for like the quick cooking, like 1-minute oats, and I only had that in like regular oat form, not gluten-free. And you can actually make like quick cooking oats from normal oats with a food processor, just pulsing it. But that is one of those things. Oh my goodness, we've been married for 5 years and we just like haven't bought a food processor. So I'll probably just go on Amazon right now and buy one, because this has happened more than a few times that I'm like, crap, I really need a food processor and I don't have one. I could have just used the blender, but I just really didn't feel like it, honestly. But I think actually while these stuffed peppers are cooking, since it will be an hour, I am gonna go ahead and go for a walk. And what I've been really enjoying lately, just kind of as I've been doing stuff around the house and also going for walks, walking on the treadmill, whatever, I have started listening to an audiobook. And I am not an audiobook person just because I am really not an auditory learner whatsoever. I definitely miss things when I'm listening to audiobooks, and I just feel like I don't enjoy them as well. I just really like reading things on a page. It sticks better in my brain. But I am gonna start listening to about an audiobook a week, unless it's like a super long one. Right now I am listening to Tom Lake and I am enjoying it so far. It's kind of a COVID story, which I don't love. Like, I don't really want to read books that remind me of that time, but it's a mom who's probably like 60 or so like my mom, and her 3 young adult daughters are stuck back at home on their family farm, and the mom is basically telling them her life story, and she dabbled. Ooh. But the mom was an actress for a short time, so that's kind of just as far into it as I am, but I do like the concept. I do think it's pretty interesting. Alright, back from the walk, and the stuffed peppers are done, but just kind of waiting for them to cool. And I figured I would share some of the books that you guys are reading. I should have asked this yesterday. I just asked a couple hours ago when I thought about it, but I asked on my Instagram and on the community page here on YouTube. So Jackie's Reading Journey over on Instagram said, "You again, that cover though." I know that was a book of the month pick. I almost picked it for September, but I did end up going with the thriller. But I've heard really good things, so I might have to look for it eventually. I probably wouldn't read it until next fall, but I've heard it's a really cute romance. It's like When Harry Met Sally and probably like Gilmore Girls energy. Also, this is Gibby. If you have never seen him before, he is our little mutt. He is a cutie boy, but the cover absolutely sells that book alone. The marketing people knew what they were doing. But also on Instagram from Psalms 139 Woman, she said, "Last Delight series by Terry Blackstock." So good. I've never heard of that, but I did quickly Google it, and it's actually a TV show now too, so it's probably pretty good. I'll have to look into that. Gibby's done. And then over on the YouTube community tab, Christina said she's supposed to read None of This Is True by Lisa Joel, which is on my fall TBR as well. I probably will read that next month when I do reading thrillers for a week. Honestly, it'll be more than a week, I'm sure. I probably will read a lot of thrillers next month. But I have heard really good things about that story. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of like 4.5, 5-star reviews, so I am very eager to read that one. I don't think I've actually read anything from Lisa Joel yet, which is kind of crazy because I do love thrillers, and I know I have probably at least 2 or 3 by her on my TBR shelf, and I just haven't read them yet, so I really need to. Christina said she also just finished Neil Gaiman's Ocean at the End of the Lane, and it was awesome, a great spooky read. So that's something I'll have to look into. I don't think I've ever read anything from Neil Gaiman either. And then Laura from Show Me an Adventure, she said she's currently reading The Great Alone, which I actually sent to her. I just did a giveaway last week, but this was from the giveaway before. So she said she's currently reading The Great Alone. I think that is Probably, I don't know. It's that one or the Four Winds, which are the two that I sent to Laura. Those are my two Kristen Hannah favorites. And then Laura said, as we get more into the spooky side of fall, I want to read some of the OG Stephen King that I haven't read. I have so much to read by Stephen King. I probably have like 3 or 4 books by him on my TBR shelf, so I'll read some in October too. But she said Carrie or Misery, something more horror thriller in October. Stephanie said she's reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I love that book. I thought it was so good. And she said after that I want to read Home After Dark, also by him. I have recently picked that up, which you will see in an upcoming birthday book haul. And then my mom said the new Robert Galbraith book, which is J.K. Rowling in the Cormoran Strike series. I tried to read the first one a while ago. I need to try again because I do have a few of them that I have picked up just at thrift stores and places like that. It's always so interesting to see what other people are reading, and yeah, my TBR bookshelf just keeps getting bigger and bigger. My to-buy list just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, that's just the thing that I spend money on. It's a little after 6 now. As I said, our peppers are done. So my husband Ryan and I are going to take our yummy stuffed peppers down to the basement, and we are gonna watch an episode of Better Call Saul, which we are really enjoying. We are super late to the whole Breaking Bad universe, but it kind of worked out well for us because once we started watching Breaking Bad, everything was done. Like the Breaking Bad series was done, of course, the movie was done, and Better Call Saul, I think, just wrapped up within the last year, so we don't have to wait for anything to come out. So that's been the show that we have been enjoying watching together. And then after that, I think I'm gonna work on a little puzzle, which I have been wanting to do lately. I'm just gonna put on some cozy music. Maybe I will listen to Tom Lake some more, but I'm definitely feeling a very cozy, chill evening because I do have a busy couple days coming up. Alright, so we had a lovely dinner. I cannot recommend those stuffed peppers enough. We should just start getting them every time we go to Costco because it's such a nice and easy and like homemade type dinner, you know? It's about 7:15 now, and I think I'm gonna take like an hour or so and work on this puzzle. I just got this one, I think from the New York Puzzle Company. I think it's really pretty, perfect for fall. The apple cookies are baking in the oven. Hopefully they turn out okay. I definitely had like too much apple for the batter. It said like 1 medium apple, and I think the apple that I used was probably a lot bigger than a medium. But I feel like we've had a pretty cozy fall afternoon, evening at home. After I work on this for a bit, I think I'm just gonna cozy up with a book for the rest of the night because I've got an early morning tomorrow. But it's been a good one, and definitely stay tuned for much more cozy fall content. I am going to put on the Fantastic Mr. Fox soundtrack. I like to watch Morgan Long's videos. If you guys watch BookTube, you probably watch Morgan Long. She makes super cozy, bookish, vlogish content, and I think she lives in Portland, but she just recently recommended in one of her latest videos to listen to the Fantastic Mr. Fox soundtrack in fall, and it is a dang good one. I always forget about that movie, so I'll have to go back and watch it.